And you have this guy who's number 7. So let's say a lot of restaurants run through a chef now. They don't run by the restaurant name. This is the chef that works, and that's like prevalent across the globe. So that guy is a number 7. You've got your business running nicely. So you need to hire that characteristics for the particular job. Of course, most of the chefs are business partners today. Nowadays, they're all given equity before the big guys. Nobody pays them salary anymore.
Our first name affects our career.
Correct. Okay. That's exactly the first indication. Is your name aligned to a business life or not?
Okay.
The full name affects our life to 30%. The vowels of the name affects us by 20%. So 50% the name se ho gaya. What brings strength to this country is the spiritual sense of, which we are losing. And internet, I blame that social media a bit on that, because there's no quality control on what you tell on the social media. It's just random conversation with anyone talking anything. And that's exactly what I see in the life, in the world of numerology as well. They're just talking, and there's no experience behind it. There's no learning. There's no empowering of somebody who's receiving that knowledge. It's scaring. ये हो जाएगा, numbers ये खराब है, ये हो जाएगा, ये numbers खराब है. So they're scared.
Yeah. Hello and welcome back to your favorite spiritual podcast, Speaking Tree, and this is Rangoli Sharma with you. Friends, numerology in itself is a very powerful tool to make you understand your life better and to make your life better as well. So in today's podcast, we will touch upon numerology's association with business. If you want to grow your own business, if you want to start your own business at some point in life, how numerology can help you. Which numbers out of 1 to 9 are most favorable for business? So if you're seeking such answers, this is definitely the podcast for you. And for the same, I would like to invite our esteemed guest for today, a renowned numerologist, Dr. Sachinn S Sharma. So welcome to Speaking Tree.
Thank you very much.
And as we discussed in the introduction, that today we are going to talk about business and numerology.
That's true.
So many people want to grow their own business. They want to understand whether they are made for business or not. So many people have faced failures in business. So numerology can be a very powerful tool in that as well. See, there are different techniques, there are different tools that can help us. So numerology is another field that if we take it seriously, if we take the guidance of numerology, it can help us in our business. So firstly, I want to understand from your lens that how can we connect the two, business and numerology?
So I'll come to that in a bit. I'll take about 5 minutes to make you understand what business world is. And my backgrounds, I come from a background of business. I have applications in the world of software right now, luxury watches. I do work there. Two cheeze hoti hai for getting the businesses right. The first thing is that is it aligned to some kind of a need of the hour or need of the society? If your business does not fulfill a need, it's not going to survive. So you're opening a small restaurant and there's no restaurant there of that cuisine, that's a need. Do you have the people who would like that cuisine? May not be true. So you may think you're putting up some Bhutanese restaurant, and all respect to Bhutanese food, and it may not be acceptable to other people because that taste is not known, whatever. So firstly, is there a need of the business? If the bigger the business means, the more you align yourself to the cause of, say, the government has a need, the society has a need, the colony has a need, the city has a need. What is your business aligned to? That's the first. So that's a strategic level. At a tactical level, what makes you a business person? Oh, I am doing so well in my career. Why can't I do it for myself when I'm doing it for somebody else?
Yeah.
That's not true, because that somebody else is a company, brand, marketing expenses, which has already got you that comfortable position of a vice president.
Yeah.
Minus that brand, that platform, that expenses, no confirmation of revenue perhaps, not understanding the financial systems and the sales and the operations and the HR, because you'll have to do everything. You may not be rightly equipped to handle a business, which is a different world. Business is based on fire and passion and willing to take the hard, stops or hard decisions or challenges. So that's the first failure point. The second failure point is some kind of romantic notion. I don't want to be answerable to anybody else. I want to be my own self.
I want to do something of my own.
Something of my own means nothing. At the end of the day, business is what it is, that the money has been given by the client. It has come into the bank. You're able to leverage that money, put it back into the business and not go spend it all away.
Yeah.
But before the money comes in, you have to have a product or a service that the person is paying for. Now, all of that is not thought through, and you start getting into a business. That's the second thing. The third thing is you're thrown out of a job. You have no choice. And you're not getting anywhere. So you have to start something, some income. So you're perforce getting into a business. That's what numerology will start interpreting. What are your strengths and what's not your strengths? So firstly, a strength or a weakness analysis of a person is done through numerology. That's called a numerology chart.
Okay.
The numerology chart has many planets. It has about 26 odd planets. 26.
26.
Yes, it's not the date of birth, not the life path, not the first name, not the name number, not the soul number, not the personality number. It also has timings.
It's something very new. We've never heard of that.
Yeah, being in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing is all numerology. Because if you are not being in the right place, doing the right thing, you won't get success because the planets are not aligned. Which means what's the first thing that numerology should be able to interpret for you is predicting the future. Predicting the future, most of the numerologists don't know. They don't work on it, they have no idea, they've never been taught, and they've not made the efforts to understand that in the depth. So, wahan pe you fall flat on the face because somebody comes to you and says, I want to start my business, is this right? They'll simply look at a yearly number, yearly number is okay, you can do it. It doesn't work like that. Now, what is the chart is, what is the effect of a chart? First thing, and then we talk about the applications. A chart is a name. Did you know that first name affects the career?
Our first name
everyone.
Affects our career.
Correct.
Okay.
That's exactly the first indication. Is your name aligned to a business life or not?
Okay.
The full name affects our life to 30%. The vowels of the name affects us by 20%. So 50% तो नाम से ही हो गया.
Interesting.
3 planets तो वहीं से निकल गए आपके. 50% of your life is based on your name.
Yeah.
And you don't know how to calculate a name, or you don't know how the elements of the name are, you'll not be able to get it right.
And then they say, what's in a name? There is so much.
Yes, you're right. In the sense, and then there is the date of birth.
Yeah.
So too much of emphasis has come on the date of birth. So the date of birth is valid mostly in all cases is about till the 36th year.
Okay.
The power of the date of birth starts to recede. It becomes a lesser power once you cross the 36th. And the journey between the 36th year and the 46th year is called the midlife.
Why does it start residing?
That's just the way it is. That's how the planets work. The way numerology as a design is that the date of birth will start to recede and it's replaced by date plus month plus year, which is called life path or destiny number, whatever. So there is a slide down and there's a slide up.
Okay.
When you don't understand the slide down and a slide up, you will base your decisions on the slide up or slide down, wrong time, wrong planet. So we don't understand that, and this is called a midlife crisis or midlife time, which is 36 to 46 years. If you just look at it normal data to see all around, जो life 36 से पहले थी और जो life 46 के बाद है, वो बिल्कुल different होती है in most cases.
Yeah.
So if you had a great success in early phase of your life, and then you look back and say, man, those were the good days. Or if you had struggle, and suddenly the sun shines one day differently, and now you're a success. You need to know those transitions.
Yeah.
So then, do you know the transitions? Number 3 is, everything is fine. You're born with a luck grid. Something works for you naturally. Or you're born with a silver spoon in a family which has business. You're born in with a silver spoon that you have a lot of strength or taking risk. You're a risk taker by nature. Or you're not. And the way the world is designed, money world is designed, is that the power is going to be in the hands of a few. Those are called the billionaires or the system. Not even the millionaires control their destiny, because most of them will be leveraging bank money, EMIs, loans to further enhance their social and financial status. So they're always going to be at a risk. So they're not really impervious to risks. In fact, mostly a lot of people who are into the millionaires are extra leveraged out as per their vis-a-vis their safety or their safety net. They have gone way beyond just to be able to get to the next level. So वो किस स्टेज पे वो लेवरेज हो रहा है, किस स्टेज पे आपने लोन्स लिए हुए हैं, किस स्टेज पे आपका you're building up a team, you're building up a product, you're building up an app, whatever it is. It all depends the timing of it. So then there's a luck that you're born with. So you have to understand that luck and how it persists, and then how to change that part. Then there is this thing about future, calculating the future to understand, man, these 9 years are good. Forget about the 9 years. Out of these 9 years, these 3 years are the best. And what are these 9 years? What are the characteristics of these 9 years? What's going to happen in these 9 years? So at a high level, it's going to be the 7th year, how planets come and go. 7th year of every life, 25th year, 36th year, 42nd year, 46th year, 50th year, 60th year, 90th year. That many changes happen at a high level. Then comes the other levels of, okay, this planet starts to work from 50th year onwards perhaps. Then comes the high level of this, you split up your life into 9 years. Then comes the yearly numbers and monthly numbers and daily numbers and other, these are all planets. Without discussing the nature of each planet, that what's good for business, what's not good for business, first you need to understand this part. How are the planets lined up for you? Now, if you don't know how to calculate that in numerology, then you are not a numerologist. Then you are a name check person. And you can't even do that because even the name check is based on the future predictions. A name is supposed to last you for the rest of your life. You bring a child into this world and you give him a name. And that name is going to last him for the rest of his life. Or you have a baby girl and that name is going to last her for at least till the mid-20s, early 20s, till the time there's an option of getting married and the name change may come into her life. So phir bhi you have 2 decades and 2.5 decades at least. How are you planning a name right now which will last 2.5 decades if you don't know how to calculate the future? So आपको पता ही नहीं 2.5 decades में होने क्या वाला है. How can you plan the design of a name? That's the biggest mistake that's happening and it's rampant. It's happening everywhere. And the most important thing is, there are curses that comes from the past life or closures that were not there. They're called karmic debts.
From our ancestors as well.
Not from your ancestors, but the karmas committed by us, which were either not right or they were left incomplete. Okay. They're called karmic debts. You have come to pay off that karmic debt, and one of the 4 reasons you get a human life. So you're getting a human life to pay off a karmic debt, you don't even know what the karmic debts are.
Yeah.
And most of us, when you go to an astrologer, a lot of times when you go to someone and says, whenever I go to an astrologer, they say it's an amazing chart and life is going to be very good, but I'm struggling forever. How many times have you heard that? It's not that astrology is wrong. It's not even that the astrologer is wrong. It's only the fact that karmic debts are such, they will not allow this life's planets to work till the time they are paid off.
How to pay them?
पता ही नहीं है. पता तो हो पहले karmic debts होते कहाँ हैं, उसको way to see them in the chart. What's to be done with each debt? What's the flavor of each karmic debt? We'll talk about that in another podcast with you maybe.
Yeah.
So when you don't know all these moving parts, and you want to design a business, just because you have a fancy of it, and I did mention what fancies is in the first 10 minutes. And that's where the failures come. 70% of the restaurants that open up close down. And that's a fact, that's a fundamental fact. And so many boutiques also close down. It all doesn't last. So a lot of things you saw pre-COVID, they're not there anymore. They were 20, 30 years, and the COVID came and they just got washed away. Happened.
So now let's talk about every number. Are there any favorable numbers which are meant for business?
Yes, surely. Let me explain this to you by each number.
Yeah, sure.
See, one fundamental about the world of planets is that there is nothing called favorable or unfavorable. Okay. Each planet has its own characteristics. They bring a lot of strength to a person's life, and it also has challenges. So there's not a single planet I can tell and say, oh, it's bad, it's number 8 and all, it's a bad number. No. No. And there's a reason for that. So let's talk about number 1. Sun. Sun is, immunity giver. Sun gives energy to Earth. Sun gives life on Earth. So it's the biggest of all planets. It gives you a lot of energy, which means it's a very good planet to have if the business is in a startup mode. It gives a kickstart to the business.
Okay.
You want to start a new division of a company, you can hire a guy who's dominated by Sun, who he'll work independently, even if he's an employee, he'll work independently. He'll take it to the next level because the energy supports. So if you're going to translate the same thing into a business, any business is good at a startup stage. Number 2 and number 5, they are connecting numbers, which means they connect people around them. So number 2 is, you and another human being. So number 2 is damn good for negotiation, diplomacy, deal making. Marketing, yes. The higher levels called marketing, but deal making, sitting across the table and saying, I want to buy a real estate at this level. No, this is the word, this is what I'm ready to give. That deal making thing. So they are great salespeople. So they convert that sales streak into marketing or into a business, that's a different thing. but they carry that inherent power to be a deal maker or a diplomat or a negotiator. And the good thing about number 2 is they're very patient.
Are they? But they're ruled by moon, and moon is not really that patient. It's very unstable.
No, it's unstable. It's not impatient. It's unstable in the sense the moon energy is Amavas se leke full moon tak, it swings the mind. So if you look at, like I always say, when you are, I'm a moon energy and I've got businesses going on. It's very simple that if you are able to align the rest of the planets, the date of birth is only till 36th year.
Yeah, as you said earlier.
You need to know when to strike. Like I said, numerology is right place at the right time, doing the right things. So every planet can be then reinforced by the planets around as a system. But the inherent power of businesses for a number 2 is to bring people together. That's the most important thing. How do you want to, how would you do that? Are you going to be doing multi-level marketing as a business? Are you going to be doing some kind of a, litware, that whatever is called, Tupperware and all that?
Yeah.
That's also a business. So it's just not a fanciful thing, but it's just the way it is. So yes, number 2 can be business people as well.
Okay.
Number 3, anyways, is a straight line business of education. They're very good at motivating and counseling and bringing people at higher levels of their capacity. So they become good public speakers or big consultants. They're very good at all of that. So that's a business.
Okay.
Then comes number 4. Number 4 is where man and machinery. So number 4 and number 8 is where man and machinery is used. So a man and machinery is used in a restaurant also. It's also used in a manufacturing unit also. It is also used, in a software company where there are PCs all around, which is, so man and machinery is Rahu.
Yeah, where there is technology and, AI.
Technology, AI. In the world of Kali Yuga, even finance is understood to be iron.
Okay.
So even financial companies are man and machinery.
Okay.
So that automatically becomes a business, because you just have to understand the nature of the planet.
Yeah.
So number 4 will succeed not in service sector, but they'll succeed in the manufacturing sector.
Okay.
Even if they're making food in a restaurant. Number 5, I already mentioned, is right in the middle of 1, 2, 3, 4 on one side, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the other side. They are distributors, they are franchisee holders, they are traders, they are exporters and importers, they are retailers.
And they're, I think, meant for business because it's Mercury that rules them, and Mercury is for business only.
Flip it the other way. Why would we say Mercury is business? It is simply because it sits in the middle of all planets.
Yeah, and also it's because speech and communication.
Which is professional communication.
Yeah.
The best communication comes from number 3.
Really?
Because they speak from their heart. Number 5 is all about, so they speak the motivating language. So they can harness the energy of people.
Okay.
Number 5 is ability to convince others of what you want them to do. So you can sell, you can distribute, you can do the franchising, things like that. So it's business is not dependent on communication, by the way. The best salespeople are the quiet ones. Always. You go to any expensive proposition, you go to buy a luxury car, you won't find the aggressive people. They're very soft spoken, knowledgeable people, where the person says, hey, this guy knows what I'm talking about. Even a seven number person can become a great salesperson. It all depends on what you're selling. So coming back to number 5, surely it's an easy one. That's an easy one to say, yes, it's a business number. And then it is number 6. Number 6 is all luxury. It's the business of media, luxury, real estate, government contracts and consulting. Which means what? What's the flavor of Venus is they're able to take responsibility. They're great for government jobs. They're great for public lives. Number 1 is also great for public life. That's also a business, by the way. So yes, so again, number 6 is your ability to take responsibility, your ability to handle it at higher and higher levels, and you're wanting to beautify the world around you. Makes you a great businessman in that line. So yeah, hotels, luxury, boutiques, whatever it is, it's all a part of Venus. You can be there.
Talking about number 7.
Number 7 is knowledge. So if I have to sell software, if I have to sell AI knowledge to someone, if I have to talk technical stuff, and that's my selling point, because I'm selling a software, I'm selling a solution which is technology based. Number 7 are the people who are the best because they're technology, they are technically savvy, not in terms of technology, but in terms of research capacity.
Yeah, but do you think it's fair to associate them with technology? Because Ketu gives solitude and 7 is ruled by Ketu.
You talk to a guy who's going to sell you a $100 billion manufacturing plant, you're not going to look at for number 5. You're going to look at number 7.
And what makes it so special about number 7?
Their knowledge, their depth.
Okay.
What will the convincing? What's the customer getting convinced on? The customer is getting convinced on the fact that I'm in good hands. If you are in good hands, you can say a few words and that's it. So let's say I have a lot of watch collection. I'm a watch collector and I'm also putting it as a business now. So if I go to I go to a watch company and have these two guys. One is amazing, coffee chahiye and coffee will come and whatever have you. And we are treated nicely. And he talks about this is great. You look, this watch is looking very nice on you. This is a great watch. Nice. It's a good conversation. And then there is this guy who keeps talking about the caliper of the watch, of the history of the watch. And anytime you see a watch, sir, don't buy this watch because iske andar, that machine is not the best, whatever. It talks technical. I'll definitely buy the watch with that guy. It happens to us all the time. So, like I said, it's not the business numbers. It's what you do with the numbers ka profile. It's what you do with the characteristics of that planet and how to apply them in the world of business. So, the same guy who seeks solitude is a research scientist, perhaps. They're seeking solitude or their spiritual pursuits or their spiritual leaders, because the whole thing about number 7 is they can become specialists in any field. Whether it's the occult or the spiritual or the real, any field. You want to become a cook, you can become a great chef as well. Now, the moment you have a knowledge-based business, and you have this guy who's number 7. So let's say a lot of restaurants run through a chef now. They don't run by the restaurant name. This is the chef that works, and that's like prevalent across the globe. So that guy is a number 7. You've got your business running nicely. So you need to hire that characteristics for the particular job. Of course, most of the chefs are business partners today nowadays. They're all given equity before the big guys. Nobody pays them salary anymore. So, ho gaya business uska. Then number Saturn is the lord of money, power and position.
Yeah.
So Saturn is business, but Saturn is again construction. Saturn is again loha. Saturn is again power. So it's like, it's a business of consulting. It's a business of king making. It's a business of everything. You understand what I'm saying? Because a business is not all about manufacturing and expense and revenues. A business can be a king-making business as well.
Definitely.
So it is all of that, but it is also loha, just like number 4. And it is also construction, just like it. So if let's say your name is number 6, it's coming to a good number 6. It can be a 42, it can be a 51, it could be a 60. Because these double-digit names have their own power. And you have a damn good number of 60 and you say, hey, my number tells me that I can invest in real estate. And the other thing is, or even number 9, let's say. Your dominating planet is number 9 and 8. So 9 is what? 9 is real estate also. 9 is agriculture also. 8 is man and machinery.
Yeah, land, because
Pick up land, start developing land in the terms of farming, dairy farming, whatever have you, man and machinery, manufacturing, become a good businessman.
Okay.
That's 8.
That's 8, not 9?
9, I'm just coming to that.
Okay.
Just coming to that. So this is 8. Now 9 is something which is a window to moksha. 9 is high levels of spiritual evolution.
Really? That's not something we regularly hear about 9.
And that's what we're talking about. Because anyone who's at any level in business world today understands the world of spiritual strength. They understand it because they know it, they harness it. And nobody's going to tell you, just look at Google and just type out how many people, billionaires, not millionaires, how many billionaires speak about luck in their life. You'll be surprised how many. And the luck is all about being at the right place at the right time, which means calculating the right place in the right time. They're all a lot of them are believers. Now, when it comes to 9, it's a global number. It's not something that you can be doing something within 4 walls of your house. Even if you're a homemaker, you would like to do something at a RWA level. You'll do something at the cultural evening, you'll do something there. You'll do something at the Diwali Mela level, whatever have you. You want to step out and make it all happen. Now, that's a characteristic you want to use to make a business. But the other essence of life of number 9 is you can't pursue money for the sake of money. Money won't come. You have to pursue excellence and money comes. It's absolutely the way it is. It's like paradox. That the more you talk about money, the lesser is going to be your luck. So when you're a number 9 dominated person, you have to look at service. Now whether it's service to people or pets or plants or animals or climate or life in general, you can make business out of any of those. You can do an NGO. You can do a veterinary hospital, who knows. Anything which brings in service to life, it's a big business for number 9. So which means what? Businesses, your ability to take risks, and your ability to understand the pluses and the minuses of business, which means a risk-taking capacity chahiye, surely. And the other thing is you need some kind of an intuitive power of business. You want to be a numerologist, you can't just read the same books and become an intuitively great numerologist. Not possible. You can't even be a cardiologist who's got the same books every cardiologist learns, and not everybody is a great cardiologist or a great lawyer.
Yeah.
The world of knowledge is all about reading in between the lines intuitively. So when you are a business person, you have this trait, you understand what traits are, what particular planet brings to the table. And then you look at the rest of the planet and say, rest of the chart and see, man, these are the good traits that you can build upon. And at the end of the day, when you got all these things together, you say, oh, these are the years you can take a risk and step out. If you put it all together, you can create a business of every person on earth. Let me tell you where I'm coming from. So we have a sense of vision and mission of what we do. We talk about one family, one numerologist. And we talk about one family, one numerologist in the sense that there should be a numerologist in every house. We believe that, we work towards it. We have automated courses, we have 4 books. I've already printed 4 books now. We have 21,000 clients in 51 countries. We have 400,000 people on Instagram. We are trying to spread the science of numerology so that it empowers a woman or a mother to take care of the child better because they understand the charts very well. The father to handle the family, the father to handle the boss better. Everything is applications. And that applications is what we teach. When I teach numerology, that's applications. Now you have a sense of mission and vision around it. But we also have a bigger vision today, which is I want to make millionaires. The biggest number of millionaires that should come out in this world should be out of India.
Why do you feel so?
Because money is power. Make no mistake about it. जब इंडिया सोने की चिड़िया थी, तो India was what India was. Today, when we actually see so many, our borders are really porous today. They are issues. There are 3 countries, 4 countries lined up against you, and let's not even talk about it's not happening. It's very much happening.
Clearly.
Whether it's well, you know the countries. They're very much there, and they're every day. They're not sitting pretty and watching Netflix. They are planning something against, and they're just looking for the chink in the armor, and then they'll strike. You are at that stage. You almost got a missile coming towards Delhi and just got shot on the way. So what stops another 30 coming to you? It's that. So that's real. What brings strength to this country is the spiritual sense of, which we are losing. And internet, I blame that social media a bit on that because there's no quality control on what you tell on the social media. It's just random conversation with anyone talking anything. And that's exactly what I see in the life, in the world of numerology as well. They're just talking. And there's no experience behind it. There's no learning. There's no empowering of somebody who's receiving that knowledge. It's scaring. ये हो जाएगा, numbers ये खराब है, ये हो जाएगा, ये numbers खराब है. So they scare.
Yeah.
When I was saying one family, one numerologist, and then we have another mission of making the maximum billionaires out of Indians. Youngest country in the world. Maximum population of 65% is less than 29 or 29 years old, which makes us very special. The fastest growing GDP, which makes us extra special. Unfortunately, the most populated country as well. So we should be the one wielding power, not understanding what other people want from us and working differently. Oh, America ye chahta hai, ye chahta hai. No. We have the strength, and what brings power to humanity is money power. First thing is the resources that you give to your people, the kind of opportunities you're able to give to the people, the leverage that has in other countries as populations of Indians grow there, so does our influence on in the country. It's called Indian diaspora. And the current government is pretty well doing that very effectively in many countries. And we want to add numerology in our own humble, small way to make this happen bigger, which means anyone who has this latent desire to be a business person can be helped. And there are great gurus who talk about management gurus, who talk about what business is, how to make you successful. They stop short of the fact that they don't understand the planets. So what may have worked for them or somebody else will not work for the other person sitting next to the person because they may have a very different blueprint on this earth. This blueprint is numerology. So numerology is not name change. Numerology is not watch kaun sa pehenna chahiye. Numerology is not kaun sa cell phone hona chahiye. In fact, cell phones to kabhi the hi nahi jab numerology bani thi. So this is all invented stuff. It has a very limited scope. It is not going to change anything if you have a karmic debt, or if you have a master number, if you have a bad name, or you have some kind of a period that's going to come very adverse. A cell phone is not going to change that. Make no mistake about it. Only knowing the future and understanding all these forces will make it happen. So my whole thing is about, I understand business in a way that I am a business person. I come from a very varied corporate background. And I understand because I talk to clients now across many countries on a daily basis. So I understand their way of thinking. And I want to mold that and give something to the country where the youngster is very much empowered by their science to be financially successful, spiritually strong, and a patriot. If I can do these three things together, I have a sense, I have a vision coming up soon. But really fundamental is simply, if you're spiritually not strong, you're not going to make it into the uncertain world that is coming up. It's going to be more and uncertain. Wars, COVIDs are just one, happen every 3 years. Now something else is happening. Climate changes are happening now.
Why do you think spirituality is that factor?
Because spirituality gives you strength to handle it and detach yourself from the current situation and still work with a sense of purpose.
And that's why India has that benefit.
If at all. It's getting diluted by the internet every day.
Yeah. Because we are becoming so westernized.
No. Westernized happened in our stages. That aping of the westernized happened in the 70s, 80s and 90s.
Okay.
Today we are taught to think independently. And then when we are able to think independently, you are marred by the misinformation of the social media.
Yeah.
So there's no independent thinking.
Yeah.
Because the entire generation is onto the net, scrolling and believing whatever they are seeing is to be the ultimate truth. Not reading newspapers anymore. Anyway, that is also sometimes, that's a question. But they're not really seeking knowledge. They're just seeking 1 minute gratification on the Instagrams and the metas. So then you are completely diluting the entire energy of the entire force. And they don't even know what's coming next. They'll not be prepared to handle it. So that's spiritual strength first. Second is, you have to be a patriot, otherwise you will go the way Syria has gone and Iraq has gone and many countries which they were doing well and they are now living in refugee camps. Make no mistake about it, that there are 3-4 enemies around you, surrounding you, waiting for the cracks to happen sometimes. You have to be a vocal patriot of your country. It's a cool thing to do now. It's not an uncool thing anymore.
Okay.
And the youth are not taught that at their house, at the dining table. Well, there's no dining table happening because everyone's watching TV while they're eating. So there's no conversation happening at a house level of what it is to make a country strong. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. And the third thing is, of course, understanding finance and understanding planets to align yourself with right opportunity, right time, right mental frame can give that results. Now, we have that sense, which is our, numerology is a part of that. Astrology ki duniya hai ye, numerology ki duniya hai ye, that part is always there. But we don't know how to harness it because a lot of successful people don't believe, so-called don't believe in it, till the time the next challenge or next crisis comes in their life.
So sir, now that we talked about number 1 to 9, and I'm sure our audience wants to get some examples of how a name affects your business. So let's just take an example of a name and let's see how to find whether that name is suitable for business or not. And in the same way, our audience can also check for their name as well.
That's difficult because you will have to give, they need to understand that each letter has a specific number.
Okay.
So let me explain this to you. A name is, each letter of the English alphabet is a number. Each number is a planet.
Yeah.
The first name affects the career. First name, which we mentioned that. The full name, it's never going to be that I'm a 6 number name, I'm a 9 number name. Must always look at the double digits behind the name. A double digit value of a 6th born person or a 15th born person or a 24th born person is very different. Somebody who's born on the 6th or the 8th or 17th or 26th is different. A name number of 26, 35, 44, 53, all these are 8 numbers. But the degrees completely vary. So first you have to understand that for a proprietary led business, if you're a boutique person, if you're a small person, your name is going to make a difference, not the company's name. Because you are a proprietor and it's a small enterprise. When it comes to complicated enterprises, it's like a limited company or it's a large company. The line of business of the company has to resonate with the name. Ab name ho gaya, each name is a number. Whatever that number comes to, that number represents a line of business. Is that name, that line of business, and actually what the company is doing, is the same or not? Now, if you talk about Reliance, for example, Reliance is a bada company. It has many businesses. So then it's a brand. When you start looking at a brand, then it talks about not only the numbers, but it talks about the flavor of the mind. Reliance is like you can rely. It's like that. And then comes the logo part of it. So just to make it little uncluttered and little, easy to understand, if you are a business owner and a proprietor, please look at your name and the company's name and try to resonate it, because otherwise these are only two big forces. If they are not in touch with each other, no matter what you do, you won't get success. And if you're a larger number, this is what I do as a consultant, that the chairman, the top people around the chairman, the succession planning, the key critical hiring of people, all of that is numbers. The timing of the merger or demerger or investment or disinvestments, the kind of acquisitions that they would do, all of that is people. If I am a company which is making materials for Formula One cars, it's a technology company, and now the same company wants to make parts for an aerospace or defense company or a healthcare company. The people who are going to be handling those companies are already there. Now, how do they align to the chairperson? People to people to people to people, are going to be 40 people surrounding him. That's what numerology does. That's what business consultations are. So then everything, it's a chart. The whole chart is made of each of the critical people in the business, and we have to figure out the next 3 years of each person, 3 to 4 years. Are their numbers in line with the vision of the company? The vision setting of the company is the chart of the chairperson. Are you competent right now to have this vision, or it's just a dream, or it's some fanciful thinking that you don't have the capability to do so, but you still want to achieve that? That's the chart of the chairperson. Which of these 40 people actually will support your chart to achieve this dream, which means this is your next move in terms of team building? Which of these people who will be built up and pulled up to the next level should have a succession plan in place? Which of these people are likely to leave the company or have integrity issues with you or other distracting factors? Is numerology. And the line of business had its own, this is a manufacturing company, so obviously Saturn is a good name, but Saturn is not a good name for humans.
Yeah.
So the company will survive beautifully well if the company is Saturn, because it's not dominated by one person, it's a limited company or a private limited company. Then the name of the person doesn't count so much. This is how the business consultation happens. It gets more and more complicated with more and more as the company grows larger. But for a restaurant to run well, for a boutique to run well, for a retail shop to run well, for a franchisee to run well, it's mostly the owners or a couple of partners that can easily be managed. One chart, company name, company logo, company colors of the logo. And the business runs fast.
Okay.
If it's not complicated in your mind, it's just the way it is. The world of business is complicated. My point to you was, numerology actually helps in every aspect. It's up to you how much you want to drill down and see, oh, this guy, should I bring him as my marketing person? But the numbers are not of marketing. It just or the person who's sitting across me in an interview and is saying, I'm a team person. But it's actually not a team person, because the numbers are very, kind of a isolating number, that the person likes his own opinions, are not open to other people's opinions, and likes his own thing. May not work well for a company that you're trying to build up. You'll be able to figure it out the moment you see the chart, because the Aadhaar has the chart, date, month, year, and the name. So I use it in the hiring as well.
Really?
There is no place where you can't use numerology. Marriage compatibility happens all the time, which is also so effective in astrology. It can happen easily in business partnerships also. Divorces are always seen and told to my clients, wait, this can lead to a divorce, don't do this, because you are able to see the future. That is also numerology. So when you are looking at a granular level, you can, and you start putting it together at a high level, you can run businesses with it. And actually, you know what, a lot of people do run businesses with it. They just don't tell anyone else
That they're following numerology.
There are not many in India, of course, because there are not enough. Well, there are hardly a few numerologists who can actually do the business wala part. You have to be a businessman first to understand how the business works. You just can't be doing logo and name and saying you're a business consultant. You don't know how the moving parts of a company works. You don't understand operations. You don't understand procurement, a whole lot of logistics. There's so many moving parts in the company, and there are so many critical resources for this company. You need to understand all of that. So, a basic orientation of sales, corporate ki chahiye hoti hai. And then you have to be a numerologist. So, I've been doing that forever. GE, Dell, Bank of America, or AT&T, all these companies have had stints as a vendor, as a partner. There we are. Merge this two effectively. Well, I guess pretty effectively now because we have a good footprint global now. We merged this to about a couple of years, 15, 20 years ago. It's worked out nice. Continues to grow.
Interesting. And I'm sure the marriage part that you talked about, we'll discuss that in one of the coming podcasts for sure with you.
Interestingly, one about a marriage, which you just mentioned, because we were talking business here. You know, you see the number of divorces that are rising in the world.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no matter what you do, and still you are doing the patri matching, then what is going wrong? You have to investigate that. One thing is for sure, astrology is not going wrong. Astrology can't go wrong. Astrology is very effective. But something else is going wrong because the divorces are still rising.
Because I think the way people are practicing it is wrong.
Practicing what?
The way people are practicing astrology is wrong. The way they are guiding or consulting people.
No. The methodologies of matchmaking and astrology are very simple and straight, and they're standard stuff. They're not really, it's not high intellectual stuff. If you understand how to calculate that, you can do it. But yet, the divorces are rising. You have to investigate. I'm not going to give you the answers here. I'm a numerologist. I'm not going to make a comment on astrologers. Astrology works. And there's no questions about it. I'm an admirer of numerology. I'm humbled by the fact that I'm coming from a country of astrologers. But the fact of the matter is, you still don't understand the science of planets. You could save so many marriages. So many marriages. And numerology works beautifully in that.
But, sadly, as you said, people only limit numerology to the low show grade and the characteristics.
Unfortunately, that's not true, because if I say I have 21,000 clients and if I say I've got 1,000 students I've already certified, then there are a set of people where we have a target market. They are using our services effectively. Maybe not at the masses level perhaps, but that's not true. At the masses level, unfortunately, yes, and that's the social media to blame.
Yeah. So, sir, any final message that you want to give to our audience, especially the ones who are into business or going to start one, or
Firstly, align yourself to some kind of a need.
Okay.
Without a need, you can't do business. If there's no established need, then it's just fanciful thinking. Secondly, do it with a sense of purpose that you are bringing in quality. The Japs grew that way. The Chinese grew that way. When they talked about quality and hard work, they grew like that. Correct? So, you need to understand quality. And that quality will not come unless you are both spiritually awakened and a patriot. You won't get quality in your life. Then it's all about kitna paisa banaya, kitna paisa bachaya, kitna paisa kharcha. Usse puri zindagi nikal jayegi, it will not give you much. That level will always remain the same. So it's a good thing to pay taxes. It's a good thing to come out in the clean. It's a good thing to build up the country. It's a good thing to start aligning to visions of the country, what the country needs. And business, anybody can succeed. I can tell you, being a numerologist, that if I have a chart, most of the charts can be made a success. So ऐसा कुछ है ही नहीं कि आप business successful नहीं हो सकता आपका.
As you said, you told me off the camera that you can make any person a business person.
I'm not saying I can make. I'm saying this is a system.
Numerology can
the science exists. It's not a name change science.
Yeah.
It's an application of the planets and these configurations. It's that science. So if you understand the science rightly, yes, of course. Got it?
Yes. Okay. So thank you so much for such an insightful discussion, and I think it's completely fair to say that this was a completely myth-breaking podcast about numerology. Some new perspectives, some unique perspectives, a very intellectual side of numerology that we talked about today, other than only the number part, the name part, and the logo, the symbol part. So I'm really glad that I got this opportunity to discuss this with you. And
yes, it's my pleasure to being here. And yeah, it gives me a platform to just give a perspective to what this numerology as a science is. It's not even a science, it's a very empowering science.
Yes.
And we want to use it at a level which nobody can ever think of. We want to empower the country with it.
And definitely, sir, we do hope that this message of yours reaches as many people as it should. So do tell me in the comment section, how did you like today's podcast? What's your opinion on it? We discussed a very unique and new perspective of numerology today, as I said earlier. So do share this as much as you can, and I'll see you in another one. This is Rangoli with you. Namaste.